lovely people. My name is Sophia, and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. Today I am renovating 18 Culpepper House, which is an apartment that came in the Spice District of San Myshuno, the world from City Living. And this is going to be my first video of 2022, so hello, how are you all? I hope you had a great New Year and holiday season. I hope you had a great time. But I'm going for a very comfort color scheme for me in this apartment using some of my favorite items, just because I had a bit of a builder's block. I've spent the past week working on a house that I absolutely love the exterior of, but I can't get the interior to pull together. So I think that might be my first ever scrapped build, which isn't a great way to start off 2022, but you know, it could be worse. So I'm doing an apartment instead, even though my last upload was an apartment, so we'll see how this does. But I just love how it came out in here. I used lots of mid-tone woods, lots of creams, and I get a bit of green in here later on. But I'm just in love with how this living room came out. It's so good. Just getting some movie Hangout paintings above this Parenthood fireplace. And there's a giant fish tank in here. I never use the giant ones just because they take up so much space. But I thought it would be fun to try a few new things in this apartment, especially because it's so in my comfort zone otherwise, so I wanted to try a few new things in here, including using a giant fish tank, which does it really fit? Maybe not, but I made it fit, and I think it looks good in the end, so you can get your Sims to catch fish to put in there, or you can just stock it yourself if you decide to play in this apartment, because it will be available on the Sims 4 gallery. My ID is NZOmega, and you can find that information in the description down below. But this is a little play area for the two toddlers I imagine living in this apartment. I imagine this was for up to 2 parents and some twin toddlers, so there's a few childish touches throughout this apartment, and I don't know, I just love how it came out. But we'll be moving on to the kitchen over here, and I use the Parenthood counters and cabinets, and I never really use them because I just feel like they're very vibrant and quite cartoony, so I find them quite hard to use in my builds for the most part, but I wanted to use them here because I don't use them often enough. And here I was putting a conscious effort to not use the Smeg fridge from, what's it called? Cottage Living. Forgot the name of the pack there. Because I use that fridge way too much, so I used the Country Kitchen Kit one instead. But you saw me just place a bar down there. I never place bars in my builds, so I was very excited to fit one in here today. That is a base game bar. I would love to get more, like, neutral two-tile ones, because I don't know, there was a very sparse selection of bars to choose from, but I was happy that I got to use a bar here because I never used them. And currently I am making a faux dining space. 2 of those bar stools are snapped to the island counters and the other 2 aren't snapped, so while your Sims can sit on them, they won't be able to place their plate onto the table, because I didn't plan for a dining space in here, and I'd already done the living room and most of the kitchen by the time I realized that there wasn't a dining space, so just improvised. But we all know Sims prefer to sit on the couch and eat their dinner, so it doesn't really matter that there's not a professional, like a specifically designated dining space, I suppose. But I'll just be cluttering up this kitchen lots more. I didn't want it to look over cluttered, but I certainly wanted it to look lived in, so I end up getting the what is it, fork and spoon ? The cutlery decorations that go on the wall here from base game. I've really liked using those recently. I'm not too sure why, but I just lowered that range hood there with the tool mod because I didn't like how far away it was from the stove, even though it's technically too far away to do its job. But I don't know, I didn't mind. I liked how it looked in here. I've recently discovered that range hood from base game, which is actually pretty good. Most of the swatches suck, but that one's nice. And as you can see here, the corner counter there has morphed into a regular counter, which I found strange because I do not use auto counters. As you can see in the bottom left hand there, it says auto counters off, and that counter changed form, so had to replace it there, which wasn't hard, but I found it a little surprising. But I'm just adding a cork board over here, getting a little policeman calendar from Get to Work on it. I really do like that calendar, it's really cute. And as you can see, I am using that lovely brick wallpaper that came with Bowling Night, one of my new favorite wallpapers. I used it in my last build, so I'm sorry if it's a bit repetitive, but I just love it too much. It's so good, perfect for this sort of color scheme, lots of cozy neutral tones. I just loved it. But here I am decorating the bar area, and I don't know, I was just psyched to be able to use a bar in my builds because I never do. So maybe one of the parents who lives here is a mixologist, as they call it in The Sims. I've been playing The Sims for so long, ever since I was little, that I didn't know mixologist wasn't an actual term. So it's pretty much just bartender, but they have to be like a little bit tricky about it because, you know, The Sims aren't allowed to reference alcohol for some reason, so it's just juice. You know, wink wink. But this is the entryway. I used that lovely sage green rug from My First Pet stuff throughout the apartment and in here because it's so good. One of my favorite rugs in game, alongside the Industrial Loft Kit fuzzy rug. And we've already moved on from it, that was quick. But this is the hallway, which is also doubling as an office space because, as we all know, you need a computer in The Sims 4. It is so helpful for literally everything. So you got a laptop in here, a laptop from base game. I use this all the time just because I feel like laptops are a lot more useful for gameplay because, you know, they just function like a PC, but you can move them around, which is wonderful. Even though my Sims tend to have a lot of routing issues with laptops, I have to make them sit down on the chair before they can use the laptop because if I just click on it, they'll be like, I can't find it. But I don't know, I like using them because they're more convenient, I suppose. But just getting a base game rug and another one of these armchairs from the Industrial Loft Kit. I love them so much. I really love the swatch. I think the armchair itself is named after Johnny Zest, which is a townie I really do love, so I find it just really funny. I love the Industrial Loft Kit, but it's not really the center of this apartment, so I don't know why I keep bringing it up. But those eco-lifestyle leaning paintings were really throwing me there because they cast a bit of a shadow over the space, but I like how the office came out in the end. But this is the one and only bathroom. It has a shower tub combo in it. And do you see the lino on the ground? That is from the Bowling Night stuff pack, if you didn't know. And I absolutely love it. I'm going to be getting so much use out of this. I had no idea it existed because I love it. It has like some nice neutral swatches with a fun pattern that isn't overwhelming. And I just feel like I'm going to get a lot of use out of this. So beware, a new item I may overuse. But in the bathroom, I also used the Parenthood tile. And it was hard, man, because for some reason I just can't use the tiles that came with Parenthood. There's something about them, they always throw me off, but I just wanted to use some things that I don't really use that often mixed in with the stuff that I love to use. So I tried it here and it works. So I'm not really sure why I'm uneasy about it. It matches the color scheme and it's not too busy, but I don't know, something about it just doesn't seem right to me. But as you can see, I just placed a bar of soap there from Spa Day, and I'm pretty sure that's the only object from Spa Day I used in here, so if you don't have that pack, you're good to go. I feel like I always say that because Spa Day is just one of those packs where unless you're dedicating, like, your build to it, you don't really use a lot of it. You might only use just, like, one item. But this is the master bedroom, and this took me about 3 tries to, like, nail down because I wasn't too sure what I was going for, but I love how it turned out in the end. I went for, once again, that sage green rug, paired with some laundry day side tables and a lovely bed from Cats and Dogs. And I just love how it came out. I feel like this bedroom specifically looks pretty trendy, just with, you know, the colors going on in here. There's lots of neutrals, lots of woods, and of course, sage green, which we all know has been taking the design world and fashion world by storm for the past like 2 years. So I just really love how it came out in here. I used those little lamps from Snowy Escape, which I really do like. I used the Better Build By mod to be able to like lower the light levels because they were a bit too bright for me, but I'm using the wardrobe from the Industrial Loft Kit, which I adore. It is so big and chunky though, so I feel like I don't get to use it as much as I would like to, but I get another armchair over here and a hanging plant from the Blooming Rooms kit because, yeah, I've definitely fallen in love with this hanging plant. If you remember, I said that when this kit came out, I wasn't a big fan of that hanging plant, but it's grown on me, no pun intended, and I can't stop using it. I use it all the time. But there's also a fireplace in this master bedroom, which is very nice. It is from eco lifestyle, one of my favorite little fireplaces because it's so small and simple and has some lovely swatches. But I just love how this corner of the room turned out with that armchair and the fire pokers that came to base game just recently. And now we have moved on to the last room in this apartment, which is the toddler's room. I imagine it was for twin toddlers. I wasn't really thinking of genders, but this little corner of the room here, this reading nook, is perhaps one of the favorite parts of a kid's room I have done ever. It's so cute with this like My First Pet stuff bookcase here with the kitty on it. I just find it adorable with the backyard stuff, wall decals. I just love how it turned out, man. I'm so happy with this half of the room. The other half of the room's pretty good too, but nothing can beat this bit. So I hope you like it as well. I was very happy to use this Dream Home Decorator painting, which is very modern, I would say, but I feel like it fit in here perfectly. And I also used the avocado rug from Seasons, which is hideous most of the time, but I really like the zebra print in here because I don't know, I wanted to focus this toddler's room around bright colors, fun shapes, because, you know, those are the sort of things that are really enriching to small children. Like, they eat that stuff up. They don't care about color schemes. So I just loved how this room came out, and I don't know, it's one of my favorites for sure. But just getting lots of childlike decorations in here, and I'll be adding a dresser from Cats and Dogs over here, and merging a ottoman and a Dream Home Decorator side table into here to make it look like a faux changing table, because as we all know, there's not very many decorations based around toddlers and babies in The Sims 4, even though we have toddler stuff, like a whole stuff pack for it. But all it did was give us giant, like, ball pits and, I don't know, McDonald's jungle gyms, and not even any toddler beds in that pack. So I find that pack to be very disappointing. If they ever decide to do refreshes for stuff packs, that one should be very, very high on the list. But just adding tons of clutter in here and a potty, because I realized there wasn't a potty in the bathroom. I couldn't see a good space to put it in there, so I put it in the bedroom, which is kind of nasty. But, you know, it's The Sims. They don't really care. As long as you clean it, it won't be horrible for the small children living in here. But I added a plant painting from Tiny Living, because I was struggling to decide what to fill up that empty wall space with. You could see me trying so many different things there. But just getting a few toys and such on top of the dresser just to make it look a bit more cluttered. And we are coming up to the end of this video now, so I just wanted to say Happy New Year. I hope you liked this apartment. If you did, you can subscribe to my channel to see more in the future. You could leave me a like or a comment to tell me what you thought about it. And I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!